Hi, everybody. Well, it is July 13, 2021. Still, look at this.
Overnight in the Northeast, another round of torrential rain and flash flooding.
Scared, I'm shaking.
In hard-hit Bucks County, Pennsylvania, some residents forced to immediately evacuate their homes as water poured in.
Everything around my bed and everything was just full of water and puddles, and she was like, we have to get out.
Rescue boats helping people to safety.
I grew up here, man. I've never seen this.
Scenes like this playing out across the region. In Boston, which is already dealing with one of its wettest Julys ever. Rescue workers helping stranded drivers in this community just north of the city.
The water's up to the top of the seats.
Cars also trapped in floodwaters in West Milford, New Jersey. Meanwhile, out west, the problem is scorching heat.
That moment when you open the oven and that gust of heat hits you in the face. That is exactly what it feels like.
As blistering summer conditions continue to pack a punch.
It's too hot. It's too hot.
Much needed relief for some may be on the horizon.
Luckily, it's not going to be as hot today as what we had to deal with over the weekend.
The heat dome that's been baking the region for weeks is finally starting to shrink. But for millions of residents and visitors, more dry air and triple-digit forecasts are on the way.
Just try to stay inside and hydrate.
After tying the city's record high of 117 degrees, temperatures are set to top 100 all week in Las Vegas. In California and Oregon, scorching conditions and ongoing droughts are fueling massive wildfires. The Beckwourth Complex fire in California spreading by tens of thousands of acres, with blazes impacting air quality hundreds of miles away. Meteorologists say this blanket of smoke hovering over Utah could linger for days as more wild summer weather sets in across the country.
Here in the Northeast, crews are waking up this morning, still trying to clean up from the damage from that flood overnight that was really damaging homes and people's cars. But then when you go out west, millions are still facing extreme heat advisories, and that's through Wednesday. Hoda?
All right, more.
Upper West Side of Manhattan. Was this from the floods before Elsa hit, or other floods last night? It looks like Central Park. Okay, well. Flooding on the East Coast, fires on the West Coast. I got a comment from someone who, wrote something like, well, don't you get it? They don't want you there. Move. There's so many people who have no resources to move. And where are you going to move? Where are you going to move? Where is safe? Where is safe? When you can get flooded out or hit by a tornado or pounded by, softball-size hail, hurricanes, the south, the east, the central U.S., really? Where are you going to move? We're all targeted in a really big way now. I was thinking, too, Montana and the fires, one that is like an hour away from where I live. I realized I'm on top of a mountain and there's only one way out. One way out. That's not good. That's not good. That's really not good. Alrighty then. Monsoons in Arizona.
9 o'clock tonight, we are tracking monsoon storms moving through Arizona. This is video sent to us from a viewer in Flagstaff today with a river running through the street after a strong storm hit the city. From Flagstaff to Fossil Creek to Globe, our state has burn scars which are at risk of flash flooding tonight. We have team coverage for you. Chief Meteorologist Royal Norman has the radar and the forecast in a moment, but first David Caltabiano is at the Telegraph Fire burn scar near Superior and Globe with more on the potential for flooding.
The town of Globe used to live under fear with the enormous Telegraph Fire nearby. Now they're concerned about the rain, with burn scars creating dangerous flash floods. First came the Telegraph Fire flames. Now there are fast-moving floods after nearly every time it rains. The water was raging on the street. You could see just how high the water was with this mark right here in the dirt, and it was really moving fast. It was so powerful that it knocked out a chain link fence and bent the bars along with it.
It completely surprised us.
Oh my gosh.
The flood came crashing into Dowden Law's property on Six Shooter Canyon. Now his 2 rental properties are damaged, and what they loved most about this area was swept away.
It's just so sad because it's all the trees, those are what we loved, and just so many of the trees are gone.
After monsoon showers, there was nothing on the burnt-up peaks and canyons to absorb the water. It came flooding into the city, picking up steam and debris along the way. Nearly 3-decade Globe resident and small business owner Sarah Bernstein has never seen anything like it.
You just can't imagine how scary it is. And the water is full of soot and ash and debris, and it can go from a dry creek like this to it will come up within a matter of minutes, maybe in 15 minutes. It's many feet high.
This is the wash here to the left.
And unfortunately, Gila County Emergency Manager Carl Melford says relief doesn't appear to be on the way, with more monsoon storms in the forecast, which is why he's focused on alerting the public when the next flash flood comes.
My biggest concern right now is the awareness of the public. We want people to stay aware, to be mindful.
Meanwhile, residents like Dallin continue to clean up. Caution.
Oh boy. Arizona, now. Both directions of I-15 shut down.
A brush fire along I-15 just outside of Nevada is impacting traffic. The Arizona Department of Transportation sharing these incredible photos and videos tonight. At last check, I-15 closed in both directions. Now, this is north of Mesquite as you're heading into Utah. No word yet on when it might have started this fire. We will keep you updated
as we get more information.
We learn.
I-15 shut down in Arizona. Wow. That is going to cause major problems for an awful lot of people. And I think, I've seen videos that are like posted 16 hours ago, shut down, still shut down. This happened about a month ago in Arizona. There's no audio. Arizona has had its fires, but I think this is very interesting. Now, this apparently was a wildfire. Wildfire destroys structures, evacuations. Interesting wildfire, don't you think? And that fire started inside. It started inside the home. It's coming out from the roof. That's not a wildfire. That to me looks like, and it doesn't look like a smart meter, because the smart meter would be somewhere, on the side of the home. That looks to me like it was a real big surge of electricity going through the power lines into that home. Yeah. Unbelievable. There's a lot of people without a home. A whole lot of people without a home. Looks like an interesting wildfire. The home gutted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We need some prayers here. This is getting really serious.
Crews battling winds of up to 100 miles per hour. Those strong gusts forcing Bill Cuddy to take cover.
We just got mandatory evacuation right now.
Unable to leave his home in time as the fire jumped right over him.
Hunkered down, and it lasted about maybe a minute, and then it went past me, and I couldn't believe I was still alive.
Firefighters are already adjusting their plan of attack, learning from the Beckwourth Complex Fire's erratic behavior. Go! Rocky Oplager is the incident commander. He says firefighters are learning to utilize established roads, prepping those areas with dozers and engine support while also taking advantage of even the most moderate changes in weather conditions.
Take aggressive action if those windows of opportunity do approach us.
It's how crews were able to tackle and get to the east side of the fire, nearly doubling containment overnight. And in areas where point of access is dangerous to place crews, firefighters are working to get ahead of the flames, creating fire breaks, standing ready for when flames approach.
So we were prepared when the fire came out of the mountainous area, steep terrain, into more favorable ground that we could work.
Go! Fire NATO's 100 mile per hour winds? 100? Really? Oh, Carol, don't you know that fires create wind like that? No. I think something else is going on.
We begin with a firestorm in Northern California. Fierce flames, howling winds, and lightning. A wildfire creating its own weather, making it that much more difficult to fight. But crews are finally gaining some ground. Thanks for joining us here at 5. I'm Tony Lopez.
And I'm Elizabeth Kling. Our news is also streaming live on CBSN Sacramento right now. Containment nearly doubled overnight in the Beckwourth Complex Fire in Plumas and Lassen counties, now at 46%. It's burned through nearly 93,000 acres, the largest so far this season. The number of homes lost is also climbing to at least 33 now in the town of Doyle.
CBS.
All right, good that it's jumped in its containment for the Beckwourth Fire. But Oregon, man, bootleg. It's the last I saw was it had consumed 202,000 acres.
The growing Bootleg Fire continued to devour forest in south central Oregon on Tuesday after forcing hundreds of residents in the Klamath Falls area to evacuate, some of whom recounted a harrowing escape.
The sheriff pulled up, sparks and the embers are coming down. He says, you better get the help. If you don't leave, you're dead.
Reuters visited the Red Cross Evacuation Center in Klamath County, where residents including Tim McCarley spent Monday night.
You know, before you hear reports of this and these people there, and you go, oh, poor people, that's horrible. But when you're with them, experiencing the same thing and hearing stories, gives you a different outlook on life, gives you a different outlook on compassion.
As of Tuesday, the Bootleg Fire had burned through more than 200,000 acres and is just one of a number of major wildfires raging nearly unchecked in drought-stricken Oregon. The fire also comes amid an unseasonable heat wave, the third for the region this year, an anomaly many experts attribute to climate change. Dale
Can't go there. But yeah, you know, when you have these kinds of experiences, when you lose everything, it does give you a different outlook that you don't get until you experience it. Okay, I so hear these curse words Mother effers. Yeah. We've seen that. We see it at least once a year. Whether it's California, this is Washington. This is Washington. Okay. There's so many more fires.
A fast-moving wildfire burning out of control near Nez Pelham tonight in Okanogan County. It broke out less than 24 hours ago, but has already burned at least 10,000 acres. 14 structures have been lost, 7 of which are homes. Authorities say it started as 2 separate fires. They have now merged together. Both of them were sparked by lightning.
Unbelievable. Right now you can see video of that lightning storm that popped up around 7:30 last night, and it didn't take long for chaos to unfold as the fire broke out. People, horses, and wildlife were forced to run for their lives. One couple told us they only had time to throw some things in the car, grab their cat and dog before their home started to burn.
You know, I told my wife, I go, see, watch this one, and boom, there it was right there, and it just like explosions like that.
Oh, their home was a total loss. So far, no one has been hurt, but we do know that some livestock have died in the fire. Well, thank you for joining us on Crumb 2.
The livestock. Well, 7 homes, livestock. Some other animals were burned, but they're alive. It's bad. This is really bad. And Minnesota.
On this Tuesday afternoon, it sounds like we've got a major-sized wildfire about 4 to 5 miles north and a bit west of Bemidji on Radar Road. Here's a bit of that radio traffic that started around 3:15.
Bell County to the Bemidji Fire. I'm going to do an all call. Per officer I'm seeing, he believes he could use the air support for it. They got radar off Cardinal Road, a half-mile on Radar Road from Cardinal.
Now, as of 4:17 p.m. on this Tuesday, listening to radio traffic here regarding this wildfire north of Bemidji off Radar Road. Bemidji all call for their fire department. Solway Fire, law enforcement called into the area, and it sounded like some evacuations were going on. And also air support being called in. We have 3 planes in the air and 1 helicopter scooping water from Lake Bemidji to drop on this wildfire. We're also heard radio traffic that this may have been intentionally set. Nothing confirmed yet, but a pretty big wildfire fight going on north of Bemidji. We'll keep you updated.
And I will link below to Newsy TV, Minnesota. So, Montana.
It's just mid-July, but after a record-breaking heat wave and the entire state under a drought, no doubt fire season is here. Tonight in western Montana alone, we're monitoring 5 different fires from the Montana-Idaho border to Beaverhead County. First, we go to the northwest corner of our state where the Burnt Peak fire is right now. It has grown to more than 900 acres since last night. This is a fire burning near Troy. It has prompted pre-evacuation notices for North Fort Keeler residents as the fire is within 2 miles of homes. Now, next to the south of Burnt Peak is the combination of fires in Mineral and Sanders County. This started as a thunderstorm on July 7th that has become the West Lolo complex. Nearly 1,400 acres have burned. These 7 fires are located roughly between Superior and Plains. Now, going south from there is where you'll find the Granite Pass complex of fires near Lolo Pass. Now, the 2 largest fires in this complex are expected to merge in the coming days. Evacuation warnings are still in effect along Highway 12 from the Idaho border to Lolo Hot Springs. From there, we take a trip down Highway 12 along I-90, and we end up in Granite County. But we're staying in the Lolo National Forest as the Brewster Fire has burned 156 acres east of Rock Creek. But the good news here, it is 60% contained and no structures are threatened. In the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest, now we have the Trail Creek Fire. It's burned nearly 5,400 acres. This one was started by lightning and driven by gusty winds and hot temperatures. A Type 1 incident management team took over this morning. And finally, we head east to the Alder Creek Fire that's burning this afternoon as well. It is under the same management as Trail Creek, but what caused this one is unknown. It is burning just under 1,400 acres. It is important to note that right now, no evacuation orders have been given for any of these fires. Many are burning in steep and rugged terrain. But here is how dry it is. We had thunderstorms pop up suddenly in the Bitterroot this afternoon, and now wildland firefighters are on the scene of a 1/10 of an acre fire caused by what they believe was a lightning strike between Missoula and Lolo.
Well, where is it safe? Where? I can't give you any particular area where it's safe. So, I want to thank my subscriber for sending this along. Very interesting. Here, this is the Center for Rural Development in partnership with Department of Homeland Security. They have a whole lot of courses, but this one, Isolation and Quarantine for Rural Communities. Instructor-led course designed to provide the knowledge necessary to begin planning for situations requiring the isolation and quarantine of a large portion of a local rural population. This training will provide public and private sector emergency managers, community policymakers, public health, and public safety personnel with the general knowledge necessary to begin planning for situations requiring the isolation and quarantine of a large portion of a local rural population. A rural community's ability to collectively respond to an emergency requiring isolation and quarantine is not only essential to minimizing the negative impacts to the community at risk, but also to minimize the long-term negative economic and health effects on the American public as a whole. Whoa. Okay. So you have rural communities, and suddenly there's a variant out there that's highly contagious, lethal, and the outbreak is a rural community. Well, you can check out all of their trainings. There's quite a lot. And here, that's on July 14th. No, that's partnering rural law enforcement, first responders, all hazards planning for animal, agricultural, and flood-related disasters. Oh, God. Isolation and quarantine for rural communities. Well, this is fun, huh? So, here are the fires in Oregon. There's 3 now, big enough to make it on satellite. 1, that's the grand view. Look at also how the fire, this is the fire overlay on satellite. You see that? The red, almost a semicircle. That's the fire. Oh boy. This is the Beckwourth, so it does look like they upped their containment. I don't like seeing the air masses going in all different directions, But look at BC. British Columbia. Look at this. Oh, wow. Okay. That's a lot of fires. And they're big. And they're big. So if anybody has any information on what's happening in British Columbia, please, leave links below. These are big fires. Look at, these are like, not good. Washington. Now, Washington, I see 2, and this is Idaho. I think this is the, well, there's one here. Montana, they're right on the border. One's up here. This one here. So I think these are the 3 fires they're talking about that will come together. That's quite a distance. If you can see, they're very faint red. But Washington, and you have 2 down here, right on the corner, the southeast corner. But BC, that's a holy sheet. Wow. And I think of all of the wildlife, and I can't stand it. I cannot stand this. Cannot stand it. Oof. And here's your radar. Yeah, belting away, Louisiana, Mississippi, into Texas. Extremely low frequencies with pulsating electromagnetic frequencies up here in Northern California. You can see the pulse. I'm sorry. In what I've been seeing all over the country for years, all of the destruction, well, even just concentrating on the weather used as a weapon, I don't know where is safe. I actually felt more safe in Anderson, South Carolina than I do here. So, and boy, this heat is really getting to me. But look at this. Look at this up here. This is New York State. Am I right? Yeah. And you have a huge pulse. The border of New York and Canada. Huge pulse. All right, guys. Everybody, stay safe. Just be prepared for anything. And you guys in Washington, Oregon, California, and so far we're all right. I believe Idaho's fire is, in the mountainous terrain. But yeah, Arizona, look, okay, the flooding in Pennsylvania, and all right, everyone stay safe. Everyone.